Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Expendable Show. I'm running 4 minutes late because somebody distracted me. But it's a Sunday, and we're here, and we're just trying to get through the week without dying. The world's erupting into chaos. And in studio today, while I was waiting on her to get a chair, is the Democratic Congresswoman from Minnesota, Ilhan Omar. No, you're not Ilhan Omar. She's over me already. She's 49 seconds into the broadcast, and she's already tired of me. There it is, Ilhan Omar. So, Shawna's here today. Finally, she's been neglecting us for like months.
Not months.
Yeah, it might as well be months. That's what it feels like. I had to talk to myself this whole time. So, first, I want to talk about my short. So, I make, for those of you who don't know, I make shorts with my animals, and then I voice them over to say funny things. Most of the time, making fun of Joe Biden. And so every once in a while, I'll have one that'll just take off, and like the one I did on Friday went viral, in what I would consider viral.
Mm-hmm.
I had 2,100 views. That's viral.
That's a new record for you.
No, it's not. I hit 4,900.
I don't know. On what video?
I think it was the one where the cats were in the pool and we were doing Fight Club. You know what?
So nothing about political.
No, I don't remember. No, it might have been one where one of the cats hissed at me. I can't remember. But either way, it was 4,900. Both of those had over 1,000 views. So now I've got a third one that's over 1,000 views. Viral.
Oh Lord.
Famous.
Sure.
See, you're catching on. Like, you're starting to get good at this. Like, you just agree with me and just tell me I'm doing good.
That's what you think. That's totally fine.
So,
what are we talking about today?
Well, we're talking about whatever I want. That's how this works. So, we talked about my short, that I'm a YouTube sensation now, like Jake Paul. I'm going to start boxing. I'm going to fight Mike Tyson.
I thought he wasn't fighting anyone.
Yeah, something happened. Mike Tyson's health isn't all that great, I don't think. So I just wanted to, what?
Why would he agree to it?
Well, yeah, at the time when he agreed to it, his health was probably good, but he's like 60 years old. His health could be bad at any moment.
You would know.
I do know.
Old people understand.
You're going to be old one day.
That's fine. We age differently, though.
I know, I age beautifully. Anyway, so I want to give you guys an update on my book. So my book is pretty much done. So I'm going to be submitting it this week to the publishers. And I am working on getting my book cover done. So as soon as that's done, I will post it on my socials. I will probably do something where I post it on here somehow if I can figure out all that techie stuff. So I'm excited. I'm ready for my book to be out. I'm exhausted from writing a book. It's a lot of work and thinking and research, and especially when it comes to the government, where everybody changes their mind every day, and then you have to constantly redo your thought process because Joe Biden crapped his pants, and now we got to do something different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you even hear what I said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What'd I say?
Joe Biden crapped his pants.
Oh, okay. You're paying attention. Okay. Well, you're just agreeing with me, like, to be a typical...
I thought that's what you wanted anyways.
It is, but, like, I was just trying to see if I catch you slipping.
No, never slipping.
Okay.
Cheers.
Okay, so the news this week. So everybody, when my book comes out, you'll know, and then you can all go buy it and tell me how brilliant I am. It's something like you've never seen before.
Moving on.
So I just want to give like a quick update on like some of our wars going on. So we still have the Israel Hamas thing going on. They are working on a ceasefire deal. There's a lot of controversy
I thought
around
they
that.
had to do that ASAP or Biden.
Well, listen. So there's a thing on that, and I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on it because it's complicated, kind of. So there's more parties involved than what there should be.
Mm-hmm.
So you have like Hamas has put forward a ceasefire deal. They said, hey, we'll do the ceasefire and we'll give you all your hostages back if you just let us keep Gaza. So Benjamin Netanyahu said, no, we don't like that deal. Somebody's got to pay the piper. And so you all are going to die instead. Mm-hmm. And so then this other Israeli dude, Herzog, and I can't remember what his like title in the whole hierarchy is, but he's somebody important. I think he's like prime minister or something, or defense minister, secretary minister, king of England. I don't know what his title is, but he's somebody important. And he says that they're going to do the peace deal. Well, then Joe Biden came in and said, hey, we're going to call it the Biden deal. And so he I'm not even joking. He came in and he basically swagger jacked Hamas's peace deal and called it the Biden peace deal. And he's trying to get votes with it. This is what his whole week has been this. How can I gain votes? I locked Trump up. I'm doing a peace deal. Oh, he's doing an executive order now for the border. Magically. He said he couldn't do it. And then everybody's like, no, Trump did it. You can do it. And then he didn't do nothing. And he's like, well, Congress needs to get this done. Well, then Congress is like, screw you. We're not doing it. You could get your pen out and make it happen. So now we're in election cycle. So now magically Joe Biden has power.
All these things are getting done. It's great.
Right. And the point of that is, without getting too far away from Hamas and Israel, which I'm pretty much done with my point, they're working on a ceasefire deal. We'll see what happens this week. But anyway,
we don't want to see no more dead babies.
No, we don't. No dead babies. No. So anyway, I was thinking of Goblins. Our Goblin anime that we were just watching.
We're diving him into anime, y'all.
I don't get it. She comes over and she's like, hey, watch this anime with me. I'm like, what? Bro, I'm 40-something years old. I don't watch cartoons.
They're not
unless it's South Park or Beavis and Butthead.
So if you can watch that, then you can watch it.
Or X-Cop.
Anyways, moving on. You like the Goblin Slayer, though.
I do like the Goblin Slayer. It was kind of
fire. Shout out to them.
The Goblin Slayer was cool. He came in like it was nothing and just started slaughtering goblins. Yeah. I was impressed with his.
We're gonna get you there.
Slaughtery. He was even like, he picked up a sword and he was like, this will never work in a cave. It's too big.
Oh my God.
He did. He was like, that's how meticulous it was. I was impressed. Anyway.
My boy's done his research.
What were we talking about?
The research. But what are we talking about?
What are we researching? Thank you. Your anime got me stuck on stupid.
No. That's just you.
No, never stupid. No. Smart all the time.
Sure.
So anyway, that's why I got to stick to the script, because now we went off the script.
You had this Ukraine and Russia.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. But the point is, it's important that America understands what election cycle politics are, because we're in the middle of that right now. And Biden is heavy on it right now because he was down around 6 points. And they're saying that with Trump's conviction, that Trump's going to gain 6 more points. So,
wow. How do you become a convicted felon?
Get him, Trump. That's hilarious. The title don't matter.
This is why they see America as a joke.
Why?
Presidential election.
How many years in prison did Nelson Mandela do?
Oh my God, that's different. He was in jail for something else, for actual cause.
Did you? Huh? Do you know Jesus went to jail?
Here we go. That's not what we're talking about right now. We're not talking about the Bible. We're talking about America and why we're never taken serious by other countries.
Which means Trump shouldn't, because his stuff was not even close to being as serious as.
Very embarrassing. It's very embarrassing.
But you know what the point is? That they wouldn't come over. Europe wouldn't come over here and try to put George Washington in jail, because he would be like, bounce, dog. Get there then. Get there. I'm there. When you gonna get there? George Washington was a gangster. Did I ever tell you about the thing?
No.
One time Parker was doing a class project on George Washington, and he was asking me all these questions about George Washington. And so I was just being a smartass, and I was like, man, George Washington was a gangster. So then we got a call from his school, and she was like, Parker did a really good job on his George Washington, but he did say that the first thing out of his mouth was George Washington was a gangster. I was like, well, he was a gangster. Like, I didn't lie to him. But that's the great influence that I provided that day.
No words.
Oh, so let's go into Russia, Ukraine. So things are starting to intensify there, and I'm paying close attention to Russia, Ukraine. So Putin has made several, kind of proclamations about.
Playing.
Yeah, he's letting them know. He's like,
He's not playing.
Put a missile on my property. See what happens.
Oh my God.
And so now, like, Biden has gone ahead and okayed Ukraine to use our weapons on Russian soil, which is a stupid idea. So have several other countries in NATO and the United Nations and all those. I don't like Europe. What? I hate Europe. I don't want to say hate, because God doesn't require me to hate things, but I don't like Europe.
Strong dislike.
Strong dislike. Thumbs down. So there is things going on, and I do worry about that a little bit, because I just was watching the news today, and one of the contributors to Fox was like, I think it's time that we call Russia's bluff. And I'm sitting here going, man, this is like playing Russian roulette. Go ahead. But do you understand, like, that Russia has a lot of nuclear weapons, like a lot. And if they start shooting them off, we can't knock them all down out of the sky. That's a problem. Like, we can't. We'll be in a nuclear winter for the next 100 years, and that's going to cause a lot of death. So, do I think? And my other question is, why is nobody? You got Biden over here trying to make peace treaties with Hamas and Ukraine. Where's he at? Why isn't he in Russia saying, Putin, maybe you want to sit down and talk about this for a little bit? Where's he at?
Trying to win votes.
Yeah, he's too busy trying to win votes. He knows the Israel peace treaty wins him some votes, because Trump won huge votes with the Abraham Accords.
Everybody is upset about Hamas.
Yeah, and the only way to win that situation is to have a peace treaty. He knows that, because then he gets the Israelis off his back, and then he gets the terrorist Hamas people off his back. I'm not going to call the Palestinians terrorists, because I do think that they are a legit group of people that have every right to be there. So I'm going to say that. Is that you think that's
got a reason to be mad too? Yeah.
Right. And when you really think about it, and regardless of what you stupid college kids learn, Hamas.
Let's be serious. They're not learning anything.
No, they're not learning anything. But in reality, Hamas bullied their way and took over Palestine from the Palestinians, and have basically ran everything. So do you pro-Palestinian people really want to stand next to the pro-Hamas people, because y'all ain't really on the same team? I hate to tell you that.
Sure.
I would like to see peace between Palestine and Israel, but Hamas, I think they should just let Benjamin Netanyahu finish the job. But that's my opinion. No, we don't want to kill the rest of the Hamas people.
No.
Okay. Well, I disagree.
That's the whole point. Just stop the killing.
Yeah, I don't want to kill the Palestinians. I just want to kill the Hamas people.
Stop all the killing. That's what we want. All the killing to just stop.
Well, I get that. But Hamas is never going to stop. If you leave them, they're going to come back.
Okay, that's fair.
Palestinians, they for the most part, they do want to be there, like, and have their own civilization and do their own thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Yes, they have beefed with Israel in the past, but lately it hasn't been that bad. It wasn't bad until Hamas started doing their stupidity. So, so today's big topic, I'm going to get off of international affairs. Today's big topic is the Trump conviction. Obviously happened this week, so I want to go down. There are a lot of misconceptions on both sides of the fence. I have found several things on the conservative side that they have been trying to twist the truth, and I don't agree with that. If you're going to tell a story, tell it correctly. And you guys are supposed to be priding yourselves on telling correct stories, and you have not been on this. Shame on you, news.
Well, that's not their job.
It is their job.
That's what they're supposed to be doing, but we all know that they don't do that.
I shouldn't have to get on my beautiful face to come on YouTube live and tell the real news, because the thing is with the news, they think America is either too stupid or too lazy to find the real truth.
That's all very true.
And then on the liberal side, they just assume that all liberals will take CNN and MSNBC at face value. So they don't ever look into anything. They just say, well, Joy Reid said all white people are part of the Ku Klux Klan, so it's got to be true. I hate Joy Reid. I do. I highly dislike Joy Reid. I almost said hate again. Shawna. I highly dislike Joy Reid. Everything that comes out of her mouth. I even made a paragraph in my book about how much I dislike Joy Reid. In my book right here, from the mouth. My mouth. Because I talk a lot. But I talk about Joy Reid because I highly dislike her. She was race baiting in 2022 when I wrote that book, and she like stepped up her game times 100. So I'll give it to her. Like, she's like reached level 20, and she's, got the magic mushroom, and she's jumping a lot higher than what she used to. But she's still race baiting, and she's still worthless in my book. I'm not saying that because she's black. I'm saying it because she's worthless.
Okay.
My first wife reminds me of Hillary Clinton.
Oh my God, for not going there.
I did that because I'm hoping that because we just talked about it, and I hope that she watches and she'll hear me say that she. Yeah.
You married her. Remember that.
Yeah, but that was like.
You married her. It doesn't matter.
That was super long time ago.
It doesn't matter.
That is true. Okay. Anyway, that's what I'm supposed to do. Have fun.
Leave her out of
it. Yeah. Yes, Mom. Okay, so let's go back to Donald Trump. So he was found guilty of 34 felony counts. So I'm going to break this down in the simplest form that I can. And I know I'm not saying it because I think you all are stupid. I'm saying it because it is complicated. I had to read things several times to make sure that I was understanding, exactly what was happening with this, because it is complicated. There's several like moving parts to this. So let's go over. So he's basically was found guilty of falsifying business records. And Shawna, you're going to be able to relate to this when I get done explaining this, because you have a job at work that's similar to how this all played out.
Okay. So
it's going to make you think twice about coding. So
nothing is serious.
Nothing that serious. But it is, like, I think it's all petty in you'll see. So this all stems back to 2017, okay? So with the Stormy Daniels payoff, okay? So after looking through all the documents and like some chicken scratch handwriting from Alan Weisselberg, I think he was part of the legal team back then, but he was writing stuff down like 120,000 for this, 30,000 for Cohen, 10,000 for this, something else, red hair and something. But then, but nothing on there says Donald Trump said do this. The paper had Donald Trump's name nowhere on it. And that was evidence that Donald Trump said, go ahead and do this. In the meantime, Michael Cohen gets on the stand, admits to stealing. He was one-balling Donald Trump. And he admitted to it on the stand. He was like, yeah, I was stealing because, bro, he stiffed me out of my bonus. So I was going to get mine. And so we got this dude on the stand going, yep, Trump knew all about this. But you see Michael Cohen's name on everything. And granted, in the state of New York, Michael Cohen is also considered, and they even put it in the jury instructions when you read all 55 pages of it, like I did.
I'm not sure read all 55 pages.
But Michael Cohen is considered a co-conspirator. But he has yet to be charged. So you know what that means? He got an immunity deal to testify against Trump. So we now know Michael Cohen's his agenda. He's gonna sink Trump because that's what the prosecutors want him to do. So he can stay out of jail, because he realized when he went to prison the first time, it wasn't very fun for him.
I don't think prison's fun for anybody.
White collar business dudes don't do very good in prison.
I don't think prison's good for anybody.
No.
I don't think anybody likes prison.
Right. Unless you're in there moving packs and getting money. That was my silver lining moment. Like, it can't be that bad. Just knock a CO and you get some weed in there. That's how it works. I watched Prison Break. I've seen how it works. So all this revolves around paying Stormy Daniels. So what happened was Michael Cohen was responsible for getting this payoff done. Although there's nothing in there that says that Donald Trump said Michael Cohen is to pay. So when I hear Michael Cohen's testimony and I see all the documentation, to me, it looks like Michael Cohen is trying to move money around so he can take money off the top here and there. That's what it looks like to me. He kind of took it upon himself to take care of this Stormy Daniels thing so he could move, like, it ended up being like over $400,000 that he moved around. And then he paid himself the bonus that he thought he should have got, that Trump told him he wasn't going to get. So he's also a disgruntled employee or contracted employee.
Sounds like conflict of interest to me.
It's huge. It's a huge conflict of interest. And he has a very big motive for doing what he did. And in the meantime, so Michael Cohen did go to prison for what was it? Lying under oath, I believe. So
he has a history.
He has a history of lying for two. This is Alvin Bragg's star witness. He's the headliner. They built their whole case around this dude.
That's hilarious. I'm sorry.
So do you understand why Trump turned around going, "This is a sham"?
Yes,
that's their star witness. Okay. And so it's hard for me to read this case, and I'm going, where's the crime at? So what has happened? These crooked lawyers were in there messing with Trump's money, moving money around. Yes, Stormy Daniels, they came up with an agreement, but nobody has a problem with Trump paying off Stormy Daniels, because that stuff happens all the time. Kobe Bryant paid off that girl in Colorado. It's true. I'm just saying it's true. The payoffs happen. Everybody pays off everybody. Joe Biden paid off Tara Reid. Like, what's the difference? The problem they have is in the ledgers, the money wasn't coded correctly. They had it under legal expense instead of whatever they thought that it should have been coded as. So it'd be like the same thing as you getting, all these invoices in, and you got to code them, and you're like, well, this looks like it's about like that. I'll code it that. So it would be like, if you made a mistake coding something,
it makes sense.
The state of New York could come and charge you with a felony for coding something wrong. That's how simple and ridiculous this is. People don't understand that. That's how petty this case is. It's a ledger mistake.
So, like,
if they had put it under bribery expense, it probably would have been okay.
They probably have
Now, Stormy Daniels should not have been able to testify. Her testimony is irrelevant. She cannot. There's nothing for her. She was not a witness as to where the money was put.
Mm-hmm.
She was a recipient of the money, but she was not privy to where they put the money or where they deducted the money in the ledger.
Mm-hmm.
So for her, that was just to slander Trump on the stand.
Mm-hmm.
So her testimony is completely irrelevant. So when this gets overturned, they won't even let her testify. Michael Cohen will probably be kicked out of the testimony as well. So they're losing witnesses right off the bat when this thing goes back to court. So and then on top of that, you got Cohen. He's monetizing he knows he's going to get called to testify. So he went to prison. He's broke. And so he's on TikTok making TikTok videos. Seriously, eating digital tacos and hot dogs. Nom, 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 nom. You know what I'm talking about? You seen those videos? Those people like, oh, ice cream. They do that. Yeah. He's on there doing that. Like a 5-year-old.
That's stupid.
Or somebody who will sell their soul just to make a couple pennies on TikTok. But that's what he was on there trashing Trump and all that. Like Michael Cohen's a turd, man. He's a straight turd. I can't. Like we look at him and I'm just like, man, if you were here right now, I would just punch you in the face. Because you have one of those faces.
That's fair though.
Is it?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I think anybody would do that.
That's something about your face.
That's a fair statement.
But I think a lot of probably everybody in MAGA is thinking the exact same way as me. They just want to punch Michael Cohen right in the face.
Stand with you, everybody.
United, we stand.
Let's go.
So, moving on. So, when we look at the charges, these charges originally were misdemeanors, right? So, this happened in 2017. So the statute of limitations on a misdemeanor in the state of New York is 2 years. So in 2019, this case was not able to be prosecuted anymore. So for one, the misdemeanor portion of it should not have been prosecuted or brought to a grand jury. So what they did was they said, well, we need to make it a felony. Well, how do we make this a felony? So they created another set. It was like campaign finance fraud or something that they were trying to alter the results of the 2016 election.
Right.
So what they did was they said, well, that charge was to cover up this charge. So that legally in New York makes the original charge a felony. So they were able to upgrade everything to 34 counts, felony counts now. Now, the problem is that felony is a Class E felony in the state of New York. So what that means is the statute of limitations on that charge is 5 years. That's it. So we go from 2017, 5 years after that. So 2022 is when Alvin Bragg's clock on this ran out. And that dude's funny. I watch him all the time. Don Great. I don't know who he is, but he's cool.
This is hilarious.
So this case never should have even been to the grand jury.
That's wild. So
for those of you who do not understand how grand juries work, and I know because I've been dealt with them before several times. So grand juries are basically, there's a slogan that says a grand jury can indict a hamburger, and that's the absolute truth. So when, say, I have charges up against me, and I know it, but I don't know it. I don't have any like paperwork saying I've been formally indicted. So the prosecutor takes her evidence, his evidence. I say her because my prosecutor was a her. And so she takes it and she goes into the grand jury and she says, here's the case. It's right here. It's all right here. And I don't have not one representative in that grand jury. Not one. I don't get to have a single person in that room with those jurors. So the prosecutors get to twist the story how they want to get the indictment.
Right.
And that's why they say you can indict a hamburger, because me as a criminal has no standing to fight that from the get-go. So then what happens is, once this indictment has been granted by the grand jury, the state is never going to let it go.
Okay.
You're getting something. Like, whether they got to plea you all the way down, but very rarely are they just going to throw your charges out, because what happened is, from that moment that indictment happens, they're investing money into your case already. So it's a money thing. If they're going to put money in, they're going to expect a monetary return out of it, which means court fines, pay to stay, all that. And so they want to, that's how it works. It's all about money. I remember when I was a probation officer at one time, they handed me a file, and I opened up the file, and it had a dollar sign on it. It said, "This is how far we're willing to go." Dollar sign. Close the file. Like, okay, we'll keep it in the budget. And so that's how I knew how the wiggle room was. And that's how our system works, and people don't understand that shit. Like, it's not a perfect system. There are flaws. If the dollar signs aren't right, they're not going to pursue things. If the dollar signs are right, they will pursue things. So the longer, those you fellow criminals out there, the longer you drag out your case, the better deal you're going to get, because they're going to eventually want to cut you loose. When they get to the point where they go, "We will not make any more money than what we already have off this case," then they're going to find a better deal for you. Promise you. Drag it out. Should have been a defense lawyer. I get told that by other lawyers back home all the time. "You should have been a lawyer, Eric." Well,
You got time.
No.
You can go back.
No.
I mean, you probably won't be able to do
The state of nobody's going to issue me a law license. It's facts. I could probably get one in Russia.
You never know.
Anyway.
Anything is possible in America.
No, not that. I'm not getting a law license in America. I promise. So, we've gone over the statute of limitations. This case never should have gone to a grand jury. This was an easy one. Everybody was screaming it from the beginning, like the statute of limitations expired. But Alvin Bragg didn't care, because he knows at the end of the day, this is going to get overturned. The case isn't going to stick. But he was able to string out the case, and now the sentencing is July 11th. So that the damage is going to be done. Trump's probably not going to be able to get this appeal done probably until after the election. So the damage is going to be done. Alvin Bragg, mission accomplished. You potentially have damaged your own party. That's what you damaged, because you're going to end up helping Donald Trump win the election. That's what I posted on Twitter as soon as the conviction came out. I was like, "Congratulations, Alvin Bragg. You just won the election for Donald Trump, you dumbass." But they don't care about that. He's just doing what George Soros told him to do. So, in the Open Society Foundation, I'm sorry, George is retired. His nerdy son that's going to eradicate MAGA with his 110-pound ass.
He said,
yeah, see?
No, he said, so Trump got 3 baby mamas, a mugshot, and 34 felonies. Bro really is the first black person.
Boom. That's what I'm saying. If this does anything,
Twitter.
Twitter's really good.
Shout out to Trump Latinos 24. That was funny.
Oh, I watched that. I follow them. They're funny. But are you turning into a Trumper?
No. But this is funny. All of this is very common.
I know, because conservatives have a good sense of humor.
I just think all of this is hilarious.
It is hilarious.
I stand with no one. I just find the circuit that's going on right
now. Are you going to stand with me when I'm dictator after they do martial law?
Oh, absolutely, because I'm not going to be on the other side. I'm with the white guy.
I'm so
Everybody needs them their one white friend.
I'm so arrogant. I even put that in my book. That when they do martial law, I'm coming to get my crown.
Oh my God. See, this is why they don't give you no law thing, because you like not right in the head.
think it's logical. Who wouldn't want to be king? So, there's also conflicts of interest in this. The judge has some issues. He donated some money to the Biden campaign, which is a big no-no. So he should have been recused. He should have recused himself. He knew he donated to Biden's campaign. Also, his daughter is the president of the Authentic Campaigns group that they basically manage the Democratic campaigns for several people, including Alex Shifty Shift, the biggest liar in Congress. He is. He's the one who made up the Russia collusion thing. Him and Hillary Clinton. Hillary. She kills everything.
She does. She cold-blooded. I'll tell you that.
She tried to kill Julian Assange with a drone strike when he was staying in another country's embassy. You can't drone strike an embassy, even though it was Ecuador's and
that bill. He always he's saying, "Help me,"
because he is.
Come free me from this crazy.
He's gonna sign up.
He's fucking crazy. Yeah, no. He always he's like.
She's a reptilian. Reptilian. There is that theory that Hillary's a reptilian.
We happen to be around real people.
Help! Help!
We love you, Bill. All the black people love you.
I'm not even mad at you either, Bill. I know you didn't care about none of that craziness that your wife was. You just wanted to chill.
We know it wasn't you. You just wanted to be the good-looking playboy.
No,
it was Hillary.
He wanted to just sit in the office and smoke a J and play the saxophone. That's all he wanted to do with his girl Monica.
And tap secretary.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to do that? Not me. Anyway, conflicts of interest. There's several of them. Alvin Bragg, the dude took money from Open Society Foundation, which is, everybody knows it. It's in his campaign portfolio, like a significant amount of money, which comes from the Soros family. Which what they want is, they don't want basically to eradicate crime by just saying crime doesn't exist. Everybody do whatever you want. So that's part. Bragg is part of that movement. Where no bail, he just massacred an entire subway of people. It's cool though. Just let him out. Just let him go. He'll be fine. He gave me his word. Yeah. Don't trust criminals. Except Donald Trump.
Oh my God. Not Donald Trump, please.
Watch my YouTube short. It's
no.
Funny. So you have that, and then you have Matthew Colangelo. So that's a whole other thing right there. Matthew Colangelo is a Biden Justice Department official that left Biden's administration to go oversee that case. So you're trying to tell me that Biden didn't have nothing to do with that? But he's on TV going, I just let justice play out how it's supposed to. We need to respect the rule of law. No, bro, that's the fix. The fix was in. You're not gonna be able to tell me any other way. I've been through enough court to know what's bullshit and what's not bullshit.
There you go.
They screwed Donald Trump. Any criminal, anybody who's been falsely accused of something knows what that looks like. I hate this camera. I want to point, but you can't see it.
This way, that's why.
Like I should be able to do this when I'm trying to say something.
I'm blending into this wall.
And then they didn't tell you the truth about the gag order. So the gag order that Trump had was to keep him quiet from complaining about the judge's daughter that's a campaign advisor.
Really?
They did not want Trump talking about her. That's a huge conflict of interest. She controls campaigns of major players. Like Alex Schiff is no small fry. He's a big player in the in the Democrat Party. So Judge Merchan's daughter was a player in that game, big time.
I guess.
So the people were in place.
This is shady and ghetto.
In the most Democrat area in New York. And a lot of people don't understand how jury pools work either. So I did my research on that throughout my life too. So what happens is you can't look at a list, like say you're in the Bronx and there's, I don't know how many people live in the Bronx, what, 300,000 people?
Sure.
Let's say 200,000 people. So you've got to find 12 people out of 200,000. You think they got time to go through all those people? No. So what happens is the prosecutor goes and picks a handful, like a couple hundred people, and the people she wants. Sorry. He, she, they, them, zip, zap.
Don't play with people pronouns. That's just respect.
My pronouns are eat shit.
Respect the pronouns.
Anyway, so the prosecutor gets to handpick their basic jury pool, and then so the defense gets to pick the leftovers. Like, well, you gave me 200 Democrats. How am I supposed to find a good jury out of that? Well, sorry, that's all you get to pick from.
Right.
And so you got to go through them with a fine tooth comb and go, well, is there one that may be moderate? I hope I find them. And that's how juries work.
That's wild.
And the prosecutors have the upper hand. They want you to say that they want you to think that you're presumed innocent all the time. You're presumed innocent. No prosecutor is presumed already winning. That's what it is. The deck is always stacked, and they're never going to throw out a case, and they're going to back you into a corner until you take a deal. That's how it works. Or if your case is a slam dunk, you're going to trial and you're going to lose, unless you come up with some great trial strategy with Johnny Cochran. Johnny Cochran's dead.
If the glove don't fit,
just give me Bobby Kardashian. That's right. Can't say that no more because Johnny Cochran is dead. He can't acquit you.
That's what Trump should have had. If he would have had
Johnny Cochran, had been on.
Johnny, this wouldn't even even made it.
He's like Stormy Daniels.
Johnny would have been like, "Get this out of here." This, this ain't right.
But you know how tall Donald Trump is. That glove didn't fit.
Nah, you know what? I feel like Johnny would have been cocky with it. He would have been like, you know what? Go ahead and let go trial.
Let's go.
Go ahead and let it go trial.
I do this all day, every day.
They think they're going to win.
They think they're going to win. I'm Johnny Cochran.
Let's go in there and post all the photos Trump took with black people. He supports the black people.
Yeah, how do you are a damn good lawyer if you can get O.J. Simpson's crazy ass off of all his stuff. That dude was super guilty.
We all know he did it. We all know he did it. We all know it.
Dream Team.
He got him off. That is wild.
You know what Robert Shapiro does now?
Oh my God.
He does he's got the will. He does LLCs now online. You don't even got to do nothing. He's got a website. You just put in your information and pay him, and you get your LLC. LegalZoom.com. Bobby Shapiro.
He said he didn't have to do nothing else.
Nope.
He was part of one of the most iconic things. He's good.
He's good. So then, so sentencing wise, this is the last thing I'm going to cover before I wrap this up. I've gone over. I'm sorry. I apologize. No, I don't. Sentencing wise, so when you're a conservative and you're looking at this, and you've heard for the last 2 weeks that this is going to be a hung jury. There's no way this case is whack. It's going to be a hung jury at worst. And then you get to the day and he's found guilty on 34 charges. And then you're going to get on TV and you're going to say, well, there's no way Trump is going to do jail time. It's nonviolent. Okay, well, it was supposed to be a hung jury. And we obviously know that this judge is a moron. And we obviously know that the Biden administration has their hands deep into this case. So how are we going to sit here and say, we know for sure that Trump will not do jail time? I do not trust that at all. hypothetically, when you add up all his charges, they could run them, they could stack them, and that would be 100 and some year, 130 some, 120 some years. That it could happen, 132 years.
That's minimum.
So, dude, don't trust it. Don't put your eggs in that basket. The GOP needs to prepare for worst case scenario. Don't just sit around and wait on Trump to solve all the problems all the time. Y'all got to do some work. Like, I've seen it all day on Twitter ever since this happened. Everybody's going, "This is a travesty." No, y'all didn't do nothing. You sit around and let Trump take all the bullets. Get your asses out there and take a bullet here and there. Ridiculous. You got one man. You know what? Donald Trump don't have to do this. He don't have to do this. He could ride off into the sunset, sit up in Trump Tower the rest of his life, and live a fantastic life. He don't have to sit in front of these morons.
He don't own the Trump Tower.
No, I don't think they took it.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, he had to sell it. He doesn't own it anymore. He hasn't owned it since
Well, he still lives there. Oh, yeah, he sold it a long time ago, didn't he? Somebody else, he leases it. Anyway, he doesn't have to do this. So for Donald Trump to sit out front and constantly take the bullets for America, for conservative principles, and you other cowardly congressmen that want to get on TV and say, "We support you, Donald," well, get your ass out there and take a bullet once in a while. Stop just sitting back and waiting on Trump to be the savior of the world.
When they did, and they stormed the Capitol. So
that was not Congress that did that. They were, all them dudes was standing there going, "I hope we don't get killed." Like, come on. Just like I said last week, like if conservative, you know what a conservative America does good at? Just like I said last week, shooting stuff. If we wanted to take out the Capitol, it would be ashes and rubble. And the fact that you guys got scared of our grandparents showing up with pitchforks shows me how soft as shit you guys are.
Somebody died.
An unarmed person got shot and killed, Ashley Babbitt, from here.
Somebody else died too.
Ashley Babbitt was yeah, they had some Capitol cops die, but they didn't die from the insurrection. One of them shot themselves. The other one had a heart attack or something. Like, they want to say, "Oh, the insurrection killed all these Capitol police." That's not what happened. Coroner reports, bro. Alex Schiff and Chuck Schumer. You guys can't even read. Liberals don't read. You guys just get manipulated and you just do what your strings tell you to do. It's like Pinocchio. I'm a real boy.
Okay. There we go.
Anyway, so the case isn't, it's not a violent crime. So Trump should not hypothetically go to jail. Nobody's putting violent criminals in jail anymore. But he's not just any criminal. He's Donald Trump, and they want to put him. They want to make an example of him, even though there's nobody else that could possibly go against Trump in the primary. So, mission not accomplished. Joe Biden's still an idiot.
Well,
he's riding his bike right now, okay? Spending quality dad time with Hunter.
Okay, there you go. Here it is.
They're riding bikes.
Everybody should be out there voting.
In Delaware.
Got asses out there voting for all these new.
And you can ride bikes with Joe Biden. 2024. Ride bikes.
And also
build bikes better.
I want everybody to do their research on a presidential candidate.
Yeah, Bobby Kennedy for
Shut up.
Robert Kennedy Jr. for Democrats. Hurry up and vote for him before he gets shot.
Everybody research their presidential candidates. It's very important. Look at their political history. Don't just look at what you see right now on the internet.
Joe Biden's a warmonger. He's involved in every war since the beginning of time.
Okay, Mr. Trump.
Since the American Revolution.
Okay, Mr. Trumper. Yeah, there you go.
He is. If you go on there and you look at Joe Biden's his policy history from the 1970s, he has had his hand in every violent thing in America. It's the voting history's there. He is a warmonger. Him and Hillary Clinton. I don't know who's worse.
Hillary, definitely. She's a woman.
Yeah, but Joe Biden's been in politics twice as long as her.
Yeah, but she's a woman. She's what's the word I'm looking for?
Psycho.
Well, that too. a determined woman.
You ever see that video where she just laughs and her head shakes like this and she looks like she's about to morph into something?
No, she. I'm not gonna lie. Hillary is evil.
Hillary Clinton.
But no, everybody go vote. Do your research. Don't just listen to these people. For all the younger people, don't vote because of what your parents said or whatever like that. Actually, educate yourselves. Don't just be ignorant. Like, ignorance is not bliss in this time. If you want actual change, you've got to do your research. Yeah.
Vote for the expendable for dictator. We're out. Peace.
Stupid America.
Bro, it's still recording.